All right. So yeah, I recorded a whole video for you guys doing the unboxing because I was just too impatient. I had to try these out. So I unboxed these last night. I had a whole video made and I was planning to stream it here, but yeah, OBS doesn't seem to like my M4V files that Final Cut puts out. So yeah, that's what happened. But I will upload that so you can see my whole unboxing. I apologize for that, but I have heard them, so I can answer you guys' questions. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay, right? Yes, yes, yes. Can you see this? Tell me if you guys can see this. All right, so there's that. Let's see. I don't know what that is. You can hear me now? And so, so okay. Let me rewind back here. This is my unboxing video. See if you can hear it. And this is the unboxing of the Fluance Ai60s. Finally, I've been waiting a long time for these. So if you haven't seen my review of the Fluance Ai40s, those are some of my favorite powered speakers. And yeah, you know, they kind of did like a soft release of the Ai60s, and a few people got them, and then they were out for a long time. Like, I would have to say maybe about 6 months. So finally they're here, and I'm excited about these because the Ai40s were a 5¼ inch woofer, and they got pretty low. They were using some DSP and all kinds of stuff to make it sound really good, and these are 6½ inch woofers, so they do a lot of different things. So we'll get into that in a second. Let's just get straight into it and start unboxing this thing. This. Get this open. Very excited for this. Very, very excited. Huh? All right. This isn't the lightest box in the world. Audio choppy. All right. All right. There's that. Let's see. I don't know what that is. And so, so okay. So last time I got the bamboo and white, and this time I got this darker wood. I don't know. I think they might call it walnut. But all right. Let's just take a look at these real quick. Actually, let me get this stuff out of the way. This, batteries and wires. Okay, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way. And right, so here it is. So we take it out of this plastic, I think so. You guys are seeing it before me. All right. You guys know that I unbox lots of stuff. I get lots of speakers. But all right, you get the idea. You get the idea. Yeah. So I had that video, and it was obviously, you guys are saying it's really choppy, right? Really choppy. You guys can hear me okay? Yeah. So I'll upload that video of the unboxing. But let me try to summarize real quick. So at first I had it connected to my system over here, and I had it connected to a tube buffer, the Little Bear T7, and it didn't like it. It didn't like the Class D amp, and it says that on the tube buffer itself. It says that you shouldn't use it with Class D, and I never knew why because I never had an issue. But when I connected to these, it sounded like really, really weird, like just a lot of distortion. What else? So I just connected it directly. I connected via Bluetooth and everything started working well, but I did notice that there was some compression, meaning for songs where, you know, let's say there's some quiet parts and then it gets real loud, I noticed that it would compress that. So, you know, when it would normally get loud, it would kind of like lower that part a little bit. And so I was curious about that. The bass sounded good. Everything else sounded pretty good about them. But later on, I tried them on my desk. They sounded a lot better on my desk. So it might just be that this room is just too big. But yeah, they sounded a lot better at my desk. They sounded a lot better with Bluetooth. I tried them connected directly with the USB cable. So it has a built-in DAC, so that's kind of a cool thing. And with the USB cable, I was able to bypass everything, and it sounded a little bit cleaner. It did still have a tiny bit of hiss when I had it maxed out, but I wouldn't keep it that loud. It's just like ridiculously loud at my desk before I could hear that hiss. So yeah, I wouldn't be concerned about that hiss too much because at normal volumes, I don't think I'd be able to hear it. Also, the Fluance manual says that it's supposed to be broken in for 10 hours. So I did that. And in the video, I showed kind of how I did it. I faced some speakers towards each other so that they were out of phase. And I played some pink noise and let that run overnight. And yeah, tried it again here. And I have them, I don't know if you can see these. Here's the AI60s. And these are the AI40s for size comparison. All right, boom. All right, let's see if you can see. I don't know, maybe from the side. Side view. Yeah, give you an idea. Yeah, so comparing it side by side with the AI40s, I can already tell you that that the AI60s have more bass, and they can play louder before that that compression starts to kick in. All right. What else? What else I have to tell you about these? Well, you already know some of the differences between this and the AI40s. Obviously, it's bigger, 6.5-inch woofer instead of the 5 1/4 on that one. This one has the DAC that I mentioned. It also has optical input, so if you want to connect this to your new TV, some of those don't have RCA or 3.5mm output, so you can use the optical that goes directly into there. And it has a subwoofer out, so I haven't even got a chance to test that. I believe that might be running full range. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a high pass crossover, meaning if I connect the sub on here, I don't think that this is going to automatically cross over so that this doesn't produce bass, but who knows? That would be a cool surprise if it did, though. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm ready to answer some questions about these. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but yeah, if OBS would be able to support M4Vs, which is usually how a Final Cut exports, that would be great. All right, so let's see here. Let me read some comments. Let me go back a little bit, see what everybody's saying. Hello, 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 hello. Let me see who else is in here. Alex City, okay, Len. All right, so all right, everybody's up in here. All right, just catching up here. Found you. I guess I'll read these later too. 3 frames per second. Hi from Miami. Yeah, where are you guys all at? Let me know where you guys are all at, because that's kind of cool to know. Love Fluance F570, awesome from build quality to sound. 570, okay. 570, what are those? What are those? It sounds familiar. Tell me. Is the tweeter the same? Let's see. It looks the same to me. Yeah, they look pretty much the same to me. Melbourne, Australia. Toronto, NYC is in the house. All right. Canada. Oh, wow. Some love from Canada. Dang, you guys are all over. Oh, Nebraska, Australia. This is cool. Maybe it's because I always like go live late, right? I don't know what time it is in your place, but thank you guys. These do not have a remote. They do have a remote. It's one of the reasons I love them. I think these are pretty much for sure a soundbar killer. Because I said that about the AI40s, but then, you know, if your TV had optical out, then it's not a soundbar killer because you couldn't connect it, right? you'd have to buy something else. It's a cheap little thing that you could buy on Amazon that would allow you to connect optical, and it would convert it to RCA, and so you could use it with the AI40s. But now that this has optical in, it has a DAC, which you probably won't need to use on a TV, but on a computer that would be good. It has optical in, and it has a subwoofer out, and the remote, and they can handle more than enough by themselves. I think they'd play loud enough. What do you think, Lance? You think they'll play loud enough for most people?
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you have a really big living room. But yeah. All right. France is in the house. All right. Yeah, they have a subwoofer out. They do. Split the RCA signal. Ignore that. All right. Let's see here. Home theater guy. Great time to watch. What sub would you feel would match these for an overall complete sound? The best sub that you can afford. I'll tell you why, because I did a video on the subwoofer shootout, and in that video I was just basically saying, comparing some budget ones to some DIY ones. So if you're handy, then go for the DIY one. You know what I mean? It takes a long time to build, but you can get some pretty nice results, and you'll save yourself some money. If not, then subs are it's a very competitive space for the powered subwoofers. So you won't really get a bad one. If you go with SVS that I have, or the Shoe HSU, or any of these other brands, right? It's gonna be tough to find one that's not good for its price, right? But I say get the most expensive one that you can find that has a flat response across the crossover range, right? So these are probably gonna cross over around like maybe 50 or 60 hertz. So make sure whatever the sub is flat across that band. You don't want it to have like a big hump because it makes it harder to blend. So flat. I like these SVS. The SVS SB2000 is awesome, but it's not cheap. So let's see here. Alberta, Canada, car subwoofer and home thoughts. Yeah, I rocked the JLW6 in my house for a long time when I was younger, in a ported enclosure, and it sounded crazy good. So I don't see anything wrong with that. Just make sure that your amp can handle 4 ohms, of course. Fluance is a top 5 value leader in my opinion. Joshua, yeah, I agree. Who would you put on the top? I'm kind of curious to see if they're in the top 5. Who's number 1? Who's number 2? Who's number 3? I mean, let's see. Mine would probably be top. It's hard to put them in order, but I would say top. Yeah, Fluance is definitely going to be in there. Mica is going to be in there. Elac's going to be in there. The newer Wharfdale stuff I like because they're dropping in price and still retaining a lot of quality. But they have expensive stuff, so don't get it mixed up. They have a D series that's like very inexpensive. So what else? That's 4. Am I missing somebody? I feel like I'm missing someone in there. Dayton Audio, but there are a lot of like DIY stuff. But Dayton's up in there. Pioneer's stuff when Andrew Jones was making his stuff is up there. Who's good in? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. All right. Is it worth it? Is it worth giving up the lower frequencies for a tighter response? I don't know. I guess it depends on what your priorities are, right? So if your priority is, the most accurate sound, then, you can have both actually. So you can have these, and this is a pretty tight sound. And then if you add the sub, like a sealed sub, then that's also going to be tight, but it still gives you that extra bass extension. So, AI40 versus AI60. I think right now that these are out, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it to spend the extra $100 if you can fit it on your desk. These I didn't really love for the desk because of the hiss, but these, I think are a lot better when it comes to the hiss. So, yeah, on a desk you want your speakers to be quiet if you're not using them. So the fact that they have a built-in DAC, optical and the sub out, yeah, overall with a bigger woofer, it's a game changer. Yeah. I would go with AI60s if you can do it. Yeah. Tony says Vanatu. Yes, the T0s are awesome. Yeah, Vanatu is a great speaker for a desktop. Now those come in around 365, 360-ish. And so they're more expensive than these, but they have a lot of the same features. Actually, some more features that these don't have, which is, the fact that it has a high-pass crossover when you plug in a sub, all kinds of crazy stuff. All right, you can watch my review on the Vanatus. So, what price are they? So, this is $299. Let me see their website here. Boom. Where's their website? Website says, let me go here. All. Fluance Ai60. All right. Their website says $299, and they have all different colors. So they have white and bamboo, like this other one that I had. Yeah. So $299, and the AI40s were $199, but I think they just recently went on sale for like $169. I did post about that on YouTube. So yes. All right, what are we doing here? Vanatu, what price and how? Okay, how would these compare to powered speakers like the Edifier, Kanto, audio engines? All right, so the only ones out of the list that you had there that I've tried are the Kantos. I tried the Kanto U4 and the U6, and in addition, I tried their Sub 6 that went with the U4s. Those are built very well. They have a very nice finish on them, and so you're paying for those things. They look super cool, and they feel really well built. What else did they have? They had a phono input, so if you wanted to plug in a turntable directly, that's one thing that those had that these didn't. I'm trying to think what else it had. These have more bass, right? These have more bass. I don't remember the other one using a lot of DSP or nothing that I noticed. So if you're not into DSP, meaning you don't want it to try to compress, then you might like the Kantos. On that review, I did a review on those. Make sure that you use a sub because they don't go very low, whereas these can go pretty low by themselves. Focal speakers. Focal is in your budget category, value. Number 1 is Vanatu. Okay, what do you think of Edifier? Yeah, so Edifier has not responded to me. I tried to reach out to them a couple times on Instagram, and they're not responsive. I tried to email them. So yeah, I told them. I tried to tell them people want me to review them, but I don't know. I don't like it when companies don't really respond. At least tell me no. Just email like, nah, we're not interested. But when they don't respond, it makes me wonder like if they'd respond if somebody had a problem with their speaker, right? So just a hint for you guys out there. If you're a company, respond to people. It's a good thing. If you complain enough about the hiss, will Fluance take back the AI40s? I don't know. Try it. Let's see here. Shane says, I was going to get the AI40, but I heard about the hiss and ended up getting with the Q Audio 3020i. I've heard good things about that speaker. Kevin says, Bluetooth range, someone asked. Haven't tested it. Have you tried the Bluetooth range, Lance?
Bluetooth range?
Like how far were you able to go with your phone on these AI40s without it cutting out? Because you have a pretty big house.
Probably, I would say around... I put it up to like maybe 4 feet and it's still connected. That's as far as I've taken it.
4 feet?
Maybe?
I thought you were going to say like at least like... So you haven't gone very far?
Gone very
so you haven't walked out with your phone and like...
No.
Okay. Never mind.
I'm useless there.
Please verify whether the AI60s have a high pass crossover or not. I will in the full review. John Suida says the cheapest way is to get 2 full dipole opposing drivers, run it through DSP. Trying to figure out what that is in reference to. Do amplifier technology topology matter? How much of a difference does Class A compare to a Class D? Is it worth putting the extra money for a Class A amp? I think a lot of audiophile people would say that Class A or Class AB sounds better to them. I don't know that I've experienced that myself. I think it just depends on how they're all implemented, because Class D is just so much more efficient, way more efficient. Like not even close. Remember the old amps? Like actually, some of the receivers are still Class AB. You go up to them, they're super hot. They get hot, and so what that means is a lot of the energy is being dissipated as heat. So I prefer to use the energy to produce sound instead of producing heat. But that's just me. I think Class D is the future, and there are a lot of companies, higher end companies, that are starting to use Class D technology, topologies, and it depends on how it's implemented, right? So whatever's surrounding that, are they using a good power supply, things like that? Those things matter. So I would say I prefer a good Class D, but there are cheap ones. That's a problem, right? So you can't compare it with a cheap Class D amp. You can't compare like a $30 amp to something that's $2,000. That doesn't make sense, right? So, yeah. A lot of people still think that Class AB is the way to go, or Class A. All right. Antco says, "Hey, I asked further questions on your Bose 301. Does reflected sound give a live feel essence to sound? Does a reflected sound from the Bose 301, does it feel live? I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on how it was recorded, right? So if it was supposed to sound like it was a live environment, then yeah, I'm sure it does a pretty good job. It doesn't make every single thing sound live though, right? So if they recorded in a studio and they didn't want any reflections or no crowd, it doesn't sound live. But yeah, I was thinking about it, whether it's true that it sounds more live or not. I can't say that it does. I can't say so. All right. Acoustech. All right. Joshua Sterling. Those cones are the same as PPI components I had back in 2001 in my car. Precision Power components. These are the same ones. The PPI ones. You think Larry Keller? You didn't think I knew about PPI or what? I know about PPI. Yeah, they used to be awesome with that Thunderbolt as their logo, right? All right. How important are preamps when using passive speakers? Besides volume control, is there any other benefits to be seen? How important are preamps for passive speakers? I guess it depends. Like, to me, in order to get something out of a preamp that you normally wouldn't. So there's a few functions of a preamp, right? So it's for inputting a lot of different sources and being able to switch between them. That's one. So if it has a phono preamp, you want to make sure that it's a good preamp for that, right? And so, for me, I think a tube preamp is good. I just like that sound that it kind of rounds things out. But I like a solid state power amplifier. That's just me personally. So that's one thing I would look for in a preamp, but that's not for everyone, right? If you don't like that type of sound that tubes introduce, then yeah, I'm not big into separates, because a lot of the stuff I try to do is more budget oriented, and so when you start getting into separates, it starts getting more expensive, and because the components are better. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm trying to go quickly here. Whoa, where am I? Okay, what's the weight of these speakers? I don't know. It's on their website. Let's see. Specifications. Weight. Any weight? There's dimensions. 13.1 by 7.8 by 9.2 inches. 29.3 pounds. Hold up a second. This ain't no 29. Maybe for both of them. It's not light. Because this is supposed to be 19 pounds. Hold up. Nah. This is 19 pounds. Nah. So yeah, probably for both of them. All right, let's see here. What is your daily headphone amp DAC? I'm not big into headphones. I only use headphones when I'm editing and I can't use my speakers. I don't like headphones too much. What do I use? Don't hate on me, all you like super headphone experts. I'm using some basic like YouTuber type stuff. I'm using Audio-Technica M50X's, and it's just because I was watching MKBHD and that dude convinced me to get those back in the day. But now that I've seen the light, I understand that I should have stuck with the M40X's that I had initially. But he bragged about those so much, so I ended up getting them. But usually I recommend M40X's to people because it's a flatter sound signature. At home, I also use those SMH 580s that I reviewed. They're from Parts Express, and they're replicas of the AKG something K240s or something like that. But yeah, nothing crazy. AM Speaker says, got the AI60 last week, and the bass response is crazy low. Yes. Not sure there's a need for a subwoofer in most cases. Yes. Real Mariano says, Canto? ? Yeah, you like Cantos. You like the Cantos at your desk. Yeah, the bass response is pretty low. I think it depends on where they're at. Because on my desk, of course, on my desk, near field, has a, near a wall. These, I have them pulled out in this space. But near the wall, it's just like shaking my desk. Like it's crazy. And yeah, somebody asked if they're a little bit big for the desk, right? And yeah, probably big. I mean, I have a big desk, so I don't mind. But yeah, maybe a little bit big for most people. But we're all crazy. $2.99 a pair, not each. Yes, $2.99 a pair, John. Yes. Sean says, would you pick these over the Vanatu T0 for the desktop? So the Vanatus had a clearer sound. They're more crisp. They have a lot of features that these don't. You got to watch my review, and I explain how those have. Mainly, the main feature that stands out in my mind is when you plug in a sub on the Vanatus, it automatically switches so they have a high pass crossover on their speakers, and that's awesome because it allows the whole system to play louder. I don't think that these are going to do that. I don't know why I have that feeling, but I don't think they are. But that's a big deal, right? With that feature, you don't have to have a separate receiver that usually, sets the crossover point like that. What else did it do? The Vanatu had auto switching, so if you played something from Bluetooth, it would switch to it. If it played something with RCAs, it would switch to that. So that was a cool thing, the fact that it would switch automatically. But the menu system was a little wonky. But they have a new one coming out, so hopefully they're going to send me those to review. The Vanatu T1 Encore. T1E. Let's see here. Do you think... okay. Okay, so do they have aptX low latency? I don't know if it's low latency. Let me see. aptX, it just says aptX codec, and I think there's a bunch of different aptX, right? I'm not sure if it's a low latency version though. John Sweeta, do you think the 40s is better than the 60s? I think with subwoofers tuned in there would be the 40s. How would you rate the mid-range between the two? Mid-range? Somebody asked me if the mid-range was as good on these as the AI40s, and I tried to listen out for that, and the mid-range sounded, just right now, I just tested the two with different tracks. I was playing them back-to-back, and the mid-range sounded the same to me, but the fact that these have more bass can kind of give the illusion that they have less mid-range. Make sense? So I think the mid-range is about the same on them though. All right. These are way too big for a desktop, don't you think? That's Katsuki says that. Yeah, probably. For most people's desktops, probably. But maybe, for your entertainment center, I think it might be okay. Right? If you have you have your TV on there, and then you have these on the left and right, I think it should look really cool. I like the way they look. Class D is coming a long way. There are already hybrid Class D amps coming out as well. Yes. Man, I'm going too slow. Can you help me out of here? You out of here? You out of here? Oh, you got 15 minutes? Okay.
15 minutes.
Okay. So, hold on. I'm losing it.
Class
Hold
D?
on. Let me expand this. Here we go. There.
All right, got you.
Larry Keller. Go ahead.
Larry Keller. I would take an A/B any day. A/B any day over a D. Hi, y'all. By the way.
Who is that? Larry?
Larry Keller.
Larry, you don't like the D? Class D?
Sean Fagan. Space isn't an issue for my current setup. Cool. John Sweta. Sorry if I Sweta. As a subwoofer, you can go down to 13 hertz, two opposing dipole drivers. Dipole drivers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what you're talking about. I know what are you referring to though? Okay? Where are we?
Thoughts on regular UB5S versus slim ones. Are they worth the extra money and difference in terms of sound and build quality?
I wouldn't. Save your money. Go when they're on sale for like, what were they on sale for one time? Like under $350 for the UB5s. Get those. Just forget the slim ones. I thought that was the coolest thing. Unless you definitely want the white ones, and you're a baller, then go for it. But there are certain things like I've noticed that the grill on the regular UB5 is different than the slim ones. So I would have imagined that it affects the sound more than the original ones. The original ones have like those crisp cut things on the grill, and it's like plastic, whereas the other one is like hard wood, like all around, like it's thick. And I think honestly that the UB5, the regular ones, sound better to me. I have the slim ones right here, and I think the sound is a little bit different. I know Andrew Jones says that it's not, but I think they sound a little bit different.
Larry Keller, they look the same, at least woven fiber cone.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of woven fiber cones.
Oh, gosh. Thujin? I can't even try your last name, I'm sorry. What do you think of KEF speakers? What are your thoughts on coaxial designs? Would coaxials have a wider sweet spot?
Yeah, so coaxials, that's the whole point of them, is that they're time aligned because the tweeter's inside of the mid-range. I've heard the KEFs only at the store. I haven't heard them here. A lot of people seem to think that they sound bright. I'm willing to give them a shot. KEF, what's up? Reach out to me.
JBR. Do you think these would fit on wall brackets?
Well, yeah, you could. You could do it. Yeah, if you have to. Everybody says not to put them near a wall because they're going to get real bassy. But if you like a lot of bass, go for it. You like a lot of bass?
I like a lot of bass.
All right, well, go ahead. Throw them on there. Just make sure. I don't know if it'll fit like the width of this, right? It's pretty wide.
It is pretty wide. Let's see. Where was I? Alex City. What does your wife think about the new AI60s?
I don't know. She's in the chat. She should be in the chat. Real Marianos, what do you think of the new AI60s? I mean, that's the only thing that matters, right?
Okay. Christian Sanchez, where would you rank this on your best overall board?
Well, you're gonna have to wait for my review, man. What are you talking about?
Sneak peek.
No. Sneak peek.
D-Matt. Good question. What's the WAF?
That's wife acceptance factor.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta be politically correct nowadays. How do you know it's not husband? Nah. I try to say spouse acceptance factor. All right, wife. What do I think of? I mean, I don't know. They look awesome, right? I think they look like they'd fit a lot of different decors. They're good on that. They're good.
Okay, let's see. Anthony, I had the Vanuatu T0s, and when I compare it to my $99 Bose C2s, I actually prefer the Bose. Is there something wrong with my ear? Is there something wrong with my ear?
No, there's nothing wrong with your ears. I mean, it's preference, right? So, I'm sure with some equalization, you could possibly get the Vanitu's to sound similar to the Bose. And, you may just like the way that those Bose, how they're equalized. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, if you can get those for $99 and sell your Vanitu T0s, and now you have some extra money. There's nothing wrong with that.
Ed Lily Kitson. Hey, what is your take on floor standing speakers? Put them in order if you can. Air Motive T1, Fluance Signature Series Hi-Fi, ELAC Unify UF5. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I haven't tried the Air Motives. I've only tried the Fluance Signature bookshelf speakers, not the towers. But I have heard the Unify UF5s, and those sound pretty awesome. So those are number 1. Is that fair?
AM speakers. I would agree with you. These could completely replace soundbars. Try listening the live concerts.
Okay.
To the live concerts. I'm assuming.
Got it.
John Sweta. What does bass go down to at what decibel? dB. No.
I don't know. I haven't done the measurements on these yet, so I can't tell you about that specifically.
John Sweta, can there be hacked for biamping?
I'm sure. You know what would be a cool hack if you wanted to. I don't know that it makes a lot of sense because they probably put a lot of work in the DSP into this, but you could probably make them so they're both passive and then do whatever you want to them, right? But that would be a weird hack. I mean, it wouldn't be terrible, but I think you're getting the most out of these because of the DSP.
All right, Shane Mannett. LOL. Need to know WAF also.
You need to know the WAF. Well, you gotta ask your wife. Come on. What if my wife says that these look awesome, and then your wife's like, those are hideous? So you gotta ask your wife.
Roar of the Tiger.
Dipole woofer drivers would be
a front-facing woofer and second woofer facing the back wall.
Oh, okay. So I guess they're talking about the dipole. Okay, what about it? I don't get it. They're just saying like random comments. Dipole woofer driver would be, maybe you're talking to somebody else because that's just like saying. That's like if I just wrote tweeters produce high frequencies. Like I can't respond to that.
All right.
I hope you guys are having fun. We're just having fun though.
Thujin, how do you solve ground loop issues? I find that I have to use separate outlets sometimes for different components to get rid of buzz and noise.
Oh, that's not cool. So you might have like noisy wiring or something like that. They sell stuff on Amazon that's just like ground loop isolators. So look at those first.
Ron Solo, please. Oh, okay. Hell yes, I've been waiting for this review to happen.
Okay, Ron. Well, this is not a full review. This is kind of like your opportunity to ask questions and stuff like that. But I will have a full review of these.
Roar of the Tiger says, LOL, dipoles? Dipoles. Okay, I'll get it next time. Probably not. The Real Marianos. Hi. The Real Marianos. I haven't heard them or seen them in person, but I really like the colorway of the AI40s, so...
All right.
Okay. I don't know.
You don't like these? I like these.
No, I like these. I prefer these a little bit more.
Really? Okay. Well, the bamboo's pretty sexy, though. I think the bamboo looks good for, like, a kitchen.
Or, like, a lighter room. Just lighter general room.
I could imagine that next to, like, those IKEA cutting boards. You know what I mean? Where it has, like, a knife and some, like, cool cheese or something like that, and then the AI40s.
Like, right there on the side of it?
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
Take a picture.
John Sweet, running them full open dipole?
Yes.
Dipole drivers as subwoofers with the 60s or the 40s. I don't know.
There's no question in there, John. You're just saying comments.
Larry Keller, hey Joe, I didn't catch your brother's name. Is his name Tell?
Yeah, this is Tell right here.
Hi. What?
Like Penn and Teller, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Tell's kind of weird, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Real Marianos, I do like the Stormtrooper look, though.
Dun 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 dun.
I can see that.
Dun,
Okay.
dun, dun. Don't flag me, YouTube.
Roar the Tiger.
So accurate, I know.
That's really accurate. Break the Loop, a podcast compared some DACs and described the differences as night and day. Can you speak about your experience with different DACs? In what ways, if any, have you noticed a difference in sound?
All right, so I have DAC over there that I think was like not super expensive. I think it sells for $99. Is the SMSL SK10, and it does DSD, does 384 kilohertz, all kinds of stuff. I don't know that I could tell a crazy difference. These are only 48 kilohertz. I don't know, man. I can't really tell a difference. But I don't know. I put it on 384 just because it looks like a bigger number and it should sound better. Can't hear it though.
Thujin, are high-end car subwoofers comparable to home theater subwoofers, or do they have a skewed response curve? Do they have skewed response curves?
That's tricky because a lot of the car subwoofers are made for just max SPL, like just like break your windows type of SPL, and so those do not sound good. Like I'm pretty sure they're just for one note. You know what I mean? They're made for competition. A lot of them where they're made to like handle a lot of power and be able to produce like a very small range of frequencies very loudly, right? So for example, I used to have, you guys have probably heard this a million times, what kind of speakers I have in my car in high school?
I don't remember.
JL Audio W6s. I had 3 of them, and those sounded like, you know, I hate to say it, they sounded musical in the sense that, you know, they could produce music. Like they were flat sound signature-ish. And then later on, I ended up getting a Orion HCCA that's made for competition. And this thing was super loud, but it didn't sound musical at all. Like it was just like, you'd be playing something and then all of a sudden everything would be shaking. So I would say, you know, look for something that's more geared towards sound quality if that's what you're trying to go for. If you want to use a car subwoofer in the home.
All right.
How you doing, by the way?
Oh, I'm doing well. No complaints. Let's see here. Ron Solo, please. I just joined the stream here, so did you get a chance to test them out already? I'd like to know how the bass response is with these, especially below 65 hertz range.
Yeah, I think I have gotten a chance to test them, and below 65 hertz, I think you'll be fine. Yeah, 65 is, yeah, no problem.
Genie Hunter, is there a big difference between the AI60s and the AI40s? Just started watching right now.
Well, you guys can rewind. You know what I mean? Just rewind a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, just mainly the size difference. Has more inputs, has a subwoofer output, larger woofer, more bass, can play louder.
Daniel, yeah, no. Evening, lads. This is a big jump in price. Need to know if it's worth it over the well-priced 40s.
It just depends on you. Do you need the optical input? Do you want to use a subwoofer output? Do you want to connect this to your computer? Do you want the extra bass? So there's a $100 difference, but it might be worth it to a lot of people. For me, I think I'd probably spend the extra. Yeah.
Gabriel Ruiz? Hi. 404, John just had a brain fart. Okay. Alex Muniz, did you try them with a powered sub?
No, but I will for the full review.
Brian Castle, what do you think about Miller and Crystal speakers? Chrysler.
M&K? I haven't heard them. Sorry. I will be at Expona though, so when I go there, I'm sure I'll be able to test out a bunch of these speakers, and hopefully next time you ask a question like that, I'll be like, I heard them at Expona.
Jortio, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Since I don't see grills, how fragile do these look up close? Asking because of kid fingers.
Kid fingers. This does not look kid finger friendly. This I wouldn't worry about so much, but that, yeah, no, not for kids. That's why I don't use these at home.
Okay, John Sweeta, no dipole, not by bipole. What? What?
John Sweeta. Yeah, you're the one with that blue bird guy. Yeah, I see you. I see you, John. You're always up in the comments. I appreciate you.
Are we skipping that? I mean,
no dipole, not by bipole. Dipole so that out of phase with each other. Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well then, where are we at now? I lost because.
Imagine if somebody was just new to this channel, and they saw me and they just read this sentence, and then they hear us laughing. We're like, dipole, not bipole.
Like I don't even understand it. I'm laughing. So.
Okay.
404, John. Here's some punctuation for you.
Okay.
Rick. Rick. Fluance 10 in subs has low pass crossover 40 hertz, 108 hertz knob when hooked up to 60s. How does that work?
Okay, so hold on a second. Fluance 10-inch sub has a low-pass crossover from 40 hertz to 180. When hooked up to the 60s, how does that work? All right, well, that's just going to take care of, the high-pass, the low-pass crossover on the sub, but I don't think that this is going to apply a high-pass crossover. So this is going to still try to produce all the low bass frequencies. That would have been cool if it didn't, though. I'm wondering if there's a way, an inexpensive way to kind of like make it so that these don't receive any bass response. DSP. Yeah, I'm going to be reviewing Dayton Audio DSP in the near future. That would work, but then you're starting to go up in price. But what else? What do we got here?
Thujin, would you consider yourself an audiophile? Okay, so I can't go wrong with putting a JLW7 in a sealed enclosure. The real question is, how would I power them and send them signals?
All right. Well, I don't like the term audiophile. I don't like anything file. Right? It just sounds weird. There's no files that are good, man. But W7, a W7 is like more of that higher SPL one. I would say the W6 is more appropriate. W7 would probably be overkill, but hey, try it out. How would you power them? There are a lot of mono blocks that you can get to just like amplify them. So you're gonna start getting expensive though.
Joshua, check out the Infinity Copa Perfect 10s or 12 subs. They're very accurate and musical from the car audio side.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Charles, I got the AI60s. I feel like they are muddy. Do you agree, or is it my input?
Maybe try different inputs because I would not call these muddy. What I would say and what I told Fluance was I noticed that there's some pretty aggressive compression on these. Like I explained earlier, if there's a song where it has real quiet parts and then real loud parts, it tries to compress them so that the low parts aren't too low and the high parts the loud parts aren't too loud. And so it does that, and I don't always want that. I mean, it's good for movies and watching TV so it doesn't like surprise you when the commercial comes on. I mean, for that sort of stuff it might work well, but for music I want the quiet parts to be as quiet as they wanted it to make, and I want the loud parts to be super loud. So I don't like the compression too much.
MR Mufu to you. Good night and thanks.
Yeah.
Shane Matt, so Joe and Tell, is you and your brother?
Uh-huh.
Damn, you're so nice to your brother. My old brother probably gonna name our channel
Something bad probably. This is my brother from another mother, but
essentially brothers, you know.
I give him mad heat though. I tell him like I go hard on this guy.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
No, it's not.
It's fun
Always?
for me.
Okay.
I mean, it's fun for me.
It's from the heart.
I like constructive criticism, so that's what I feel like it always is anyways. It's not really heat, it's just constructive criticism and honest opinions. I enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm harsh though. I'm harsh on people. And speakers.
CH Gadget, what's up, peeps?
What's up?
Hi.
What's up?
Shane Mannett. Actually, this is my last one. Something without my name in it. Oh.
Okay. Alrighty.
CH Gadgets. Actually, that's gonna be my last one. Is it more watts?
I think so. I think these are. Somebody tell me what the AI40s are because these are. Whoa! I just noticed the frequency response is 35 hertz. I kind of believe that. 50 watts. So 100 watts continuous. 2 times 50 watts on these. See you later.
Later.
Lancito. Alright. Drive safe, man. Is it raining?
It's wet. Probably
Okay.
still raining. We'll see.
Alright, is it more watts? What are your thoughts on using subwoofer with these speakers? So they claim 35 hertz. I'll tell you right now, they probably do hit 35 hertz, but like I'm saying, they're applying some DSP, so they're protecting it when it hits 35. So let's say if something hits 35 hertz, boom, right? I don't think it's gonna want to like hit it as hard as it normally would if you're playing it loud. I think what'll happen is it'll gradually ease into it, make sure that it can handle it, and then give you a tone that's, give you the right tones, but it's not gonna hit as hard as a sub would. Does that make sense? The DSP is protecting this thing. It's making sure that it's not giving you distortion. So it's gonna like ease in those sounds, or it's gonna play some nasty distortion. So it's up to you. I prefer a speaker that can handle it and not have distortion, but you can't have it all. What are your okay? Have the ELAC debut 6.2s? Do you think it's important to use an ELAC sub? Well, you can use any sub. You don't have to use an ELAC sub. And I actually have the ELAC 3010 here. The only cool thing about the ELAC is that it does have DSP and room correction, so it'll allow you to blend those a little bit better.
Let me, can I say something about compression real quick? So, I have a different opinion. I actually enjoy compression just a little bit because I feel like it keeps everything balanced for, like, my room size. I think, I don't know, if it's possible, it makes sense. Like, I just enjoy it because I have a smaller room, and where I play it, there's carpet, and it's not, like, obviously it's like a bedroom, so there's a lot of stuff in there. I feel like the compression does better in my room.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
It's good for that, and like if you have a louder environment, right? Makes it so, like, let's say for a car, compression's kind of good for a car because you have road noise. You're not going to hear all the low, like, quiet sounds.
Yeah.
So it's going to bump those up, and then anything loud is going to kind of, squeeze it in.
Yeah. So now I'm out. Just wanted to say that.
See ya. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right. How easy is it to hook up to a TV? Very easy. So either with optical or the RCA output, or sometimes it's a 3.5 millimeter jack on the back of your TV, and this will accept RCA, and it comes with a cable actually. So it has a 3.5 to RCA adapter. It does not have the optical, but they're inexpensive on Amazon. Just sweet. I'm not going to comment anymore. I was talking to somebody else about it, but thanks anyway. Yeah, I'm just playing with you, John. Don't take it too seriously. I wasn't sure if you're... Basically, I try to answer all the comments here, so I'm not sure if you're talking to somebody else, if you're asking me a question. But, yeah. Right. Seems like the main competitor to the Fluance Ai60 is the Kanto U6. Have you compared them? I compared the U6 to the AI40s, and... yeah, watch that video. Watch the Kanto video, and you'll see I even did measurements of both of them. So, I don't know if you want to me to tell you. The gist of it is basically the Kantos are nicer finish, nice build quality, not as much bass, but they have more input options than the AI40s. They have close to the same input and subwoofer output and all those options as these. These have more bass. The other ones still have better build quality. And the other ones have a phono input. Talking about the other ones, there's the Kantos. Daniel, how long do you expect it to take to write up this review? How long does it usually take? And what's the general process for your review? Sorry if you're repeating yourself. So, no, I'm not repeating myself. That's the first time somebody asked me today, or on this chat. Somebody asked me earlier today. But it takes me, a couple days. So I need to analyze it and try it in different situations. And then I also need to do measurements, right? So that might take a couple hours to do all the measurements. And I also do those sound demos for you guys, and that might take, I have a certain amount where I do sound demos for the videos, and that takes a long time to actually edit those and make it that, the way those sound demos look. It takes a while. And then I have sound demos for my Patreon supporters with other music, right? So like more normal music that you're used to hearing. And now I've been starting to implement binaural recordings. And so that takes more time. And then I have to film all the B-roll and all the different shots and the cool angles and all that. So that may take a couple hours. And then I got to film myself talking about it. And I have to figure out what I'm going to say. And then I got to talk about it. And then I got to spend hours editing. So a couple days at least. And that's rushing it. Yeah. That's why, it takes so much time. So that's why, one of my pet peeves is when people are in the comments like, well, you should do this and this. Your measurement, you did this and this wrong. It's really easy to stand on the sidelines and tell me how I should do things and what I did wrong. Believe me, I know when I did something wrong, and it bugs me, probably more than it bugs you, because it took me hours and I still didn't get the result that I wanted. So when I mess up, it's the worst. right? I don't like messing up. But I'm still experimenting. I'm still trying to figure out better ways to record, better ways to kind of capture the true sound of the speaker, which is difficult. So yeah, I don't like people who are, I understand constructive criticism, but I don't like it when somebody's like, well, you should do this. I kind of feel like, you know what? Make a video. Try one time to make a video and then tell me. Because it's easy to make a lot of mistakes when you have so much to do. And then, it's only me, really. What else? So sorry about that little rant. You guys are dope and down to earth. Thank you. Definitely love to see some more DIY subwoofer reviews. All right, gotta sleep. Okay, I'm gonna go pretty soon too because I'm at 11% battery. All right, so the compression you're getting through DSP, can you connect it to a computer and change its performance? No, I did not see that, John. Desbrand, how many speakers can you connect together? Just this one and one other speaker. Engine 0. No port means they might have a lot of excursion in the woofer. Yes, it's sealed and they control it so that usually sealed doesn't have as much bass, but they use DSP to extend that and give it more bass. Rowan, hi Joe. Did you see Audioholic's recent video about speaker cables? I did, and my comment I think is the top comment on there. Yeah, hopefully I can do a collab with them someday. Larry Keller, 35 hertz out of sealed 6.5. Not convincing me on that. Run a test tone. Okay. Larry, I mean, I understand. That sounds very unreasonable. But with DSP, you can do a lot of different things. Now, I'm not saying that you can do 35 hertz at max volume, but I'm saying that it can produce 35 hertz at, let's say, 85 decibels. I don't think it'd be producing 35 hertz at 100 decibels at your seating position. But up close, I can see how they can measure that. Sean, they have optical, so plug and play. Okay, Patrick, I know compare apples with oranges, but how would you compare the ELAC F5 with the F22? Maybe you're talking about the F5.2. I like, this is going to be a surprise, but I like the F5.2s better than the ELAC debuts. I like their sound signature better. Crazy, right? They're way less expensive too. I agree. I'm not sure I believe these claims. All right, you guys don't have to believe it, but I'm telling you, DSP is amazing. And that's why they use DSP, because they protect it too. Oh man, my thing's going to run out. All right, so Fluance, LeBron, okay, editing skills. I like your editing skills. I'm at 6% battery. Okay, let me turn this down. Cheers, dude. Okay, would love to compare a Guitar Center or something. Alternative, yeah. Okay. Monday morning quarterbacks, yes. Did you test the Bluetooth range in feet? No, I have not. Hey guys, my computer is about to die. My laptop's about to die. So I'm out of here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to upload that video. I'm sorry. I was supposed to be part of the live stream, but yeah. Okay, I'm out. I'll see you guys in the comments, and you guys can always email me or message me on Instagram, all that stuff, or become a Patreon. That would be awesome for me. All right, see you guys. Take care.